You guys ready for this? So this is a really interesting question that I heard somebody ask, and that is, how do you read a tarot card that's sideways, right? Like, okay, and has this happened to you? So there have been a couple questions as to reasons why this has happened. Sometimes a tarot card will fly out of the deck. If you'd like to know what that means, I do have another video on that. But if it flies out of the deck and it's not upright or reversed and it's sideways, does that have a different meaning, right? How do you read a card that's sideways? Another place that this may come up also is in the Celtic Cross spread, right? You have the main significator card in the middle, and then you have the card on top of it, right? And that card is sideways. So how do you read that? So I wanted to talk a little bit about that with you guys today, if that was a question that you were having or something that you come across or something you'd like to have information on in case it happens. So how do we read a sideways tarot card? Well, there's a couple different ways. So the very first thing I would say, and this is how I read when I'm doing like a Celtic Cross spread where it is the significator and the card that's over it. So basically I read that as something that is either blocking or amplifying the energy of the card underneath it, right? So, and figuring out which one that is going to be up to your discretion. You know, if sometimes it's very clear, right? If it's a heavier energy or something, yeah, it's probably something that's going to be blocking it. But if it's a card that maybe has like a fire card that's got fast moving energy, maybe it's something that's amplifying that situation. There's a whole other subject. We can go into all that if you want to go card specific, but that could be something that could be helpful to look at when you are experiencing a sideways card. Now, what happens if it's not a sideways card that's over another card, right? What if it's just something that kind of comes up, right? Randomly flies out of your deck or something like that, right? Whatever instance that this is happening to you. You can still read it that way as something that might be amplifying or being a challenge, being a block in the situation, because if it's flown out in addition to something that you're just speaking about. This is something that happens too. I'll be shuffling cards as I'm talking or somebody else is talking to me, and a card will fly out, and I choose that card as to be related to whatever that person just said, right? Or whatever was just being spoken about. So you can use that as an amplifying or a card that is creating a challenge in that situation. Another thing that you can do is you can just read the card as something kind of between the upright and the reversed, right? It's sort of like what's something between like a yes or a no? It's a maybe, right? So you read the maybe kind of aspect of this card, and you really have to figure out what that is. And I think you'll have to kind of use your intuition on that one. Also too, you can think of it as what's a compromise between the two positive and negative energies and polarities of this card, right? Like how do you meet in the middle of these two energies? So it's a little bit of the upright and a little bit of the reversed, and how do you mix those together, and what does that mean? So it's a whole other challenge of trying to read tarot cards when you have to do that, but it might be something that's fun, and it might kind of ratchet those intuitive abilities that you have up to another level to really be able to do that. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Gives you a little bit better understanding of maybe what the heck to do with those freaking sideways cards. And if you have an experience that you maybe want to share, or if you have another technique or a way that you like to read the sideways cards, feel free to share. I always love to hear kind of what people are doing and their interpretations and impressions of things. So drop that in the comments below if you've got some time. So until next time, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you have an absolutely beautiful day.